The key slid into the lock but refused to turn. Barbara shifted the grocery bags to her other hip, staring at the unfamiliar deadbolt.
Ashley, the door. It won't open. Something's wrong with the lock.
Go away, Grandma. You are not welcome here anymore. Mom changed the locks.
What are you talking about? I live here. Open this door right now, Ashley.
Mom has the new deed. The house isn't yours. Go find a hotel.
20 relatives sat inside, hearing every word through the door. Not one of them got up.
Please, I have the Christmas ham right here. Let me in. I spent all day cooking.
I said leave. You are trespassing now. If you don't go, I'll call the police.
With numb fingers, Barbara pressed her palm flat against the wood. Her tears froze on the doorframe as the silence stretched.
My own flesh and blood. On Christmas Eve. And nobody came.
Barbara swallowed the ache in her throat and forced her voice to be steady.
Susan, you come out here right now. How could you do this to me, your own mother?
The rumble of a diesel engine cut through the silence. A mail truck appeared at the corner. Kenneth finished his 30-year route and immediately noticed the lone figure on the porch. He climbed out of the truck and walked up the snowy path, his eyes full of concern.
Ma'am, are you okay? I saw you trying to get in. What's going on?
They changed the locks. My daughter and granddaughter. I am locked out of my own home.
Kenneth glanced at the closed door, then pressed a button on his chest. The body cam light glowed.
Who's out there? You have no right to be on this property. Leave now.
I am Mr. Kenneth, the mailman. This is all being recorded. We'll wait together until help arrives.
You can wait all night, old man. This is our house now. Mom has the deed signed and notarized.
My house, my deed. You can't just steal it. I have my husband's will.
Wills don't matter when there's a new deed. The law's on our side, Grandma. Just accept it.
She sounds so certain. What if they actually got a lawyer? What if I've lost everything tonight?
Kenneth kept his eyes forward, his body camera, the silent witness to the confession.
Now get off my porch. The police will side with the property owner, and that's Mom.
Barbara turned away, her breath catching. She looked back at the glowing windows one last time. Kenneth took her arm gently and guided her down the steps toward the mail truck. They walked together through the fresh snow, the porch light shrinking behind them.
I have nowhere to go. But at least someone heard the truth.
The mail truck rolled through the quiet streets, past houses lit with holiday cheer. Kenneth said nothing, letting the camera store every second. He pulled into the police station lot and turned off the engine. The building's fluorescent lights cut through the dark.
Come on, Barbara. We'll get this sorted. The desk sergeant will listen.
Inside, the duty officer waved them to a metal chair. Barbara clutched her coat, the pearl earrings catching the harsh overhead light.
I am Detective Harris. You say your family locked you out? Show me the footage.
Kenneth unpinned the body cam and handed it over. The detective plugged it in, and the screen flickered to life. The audio crackled. Ashley's voice, sharp and clear. Mom has the new deed. Harris paused the video.
That's enough to open a case. We'll need a statement from you, ma'am, and I'll have this authenticated.
After everything, just 10 words from a stranger, and I finally feel like I might not be invisible.
Harris filed the report, marking it elder fraud. The investigation had begun, but outside, the snow kept falling. Harris replayed the body cam audio, then turned to face her. The questions had grown sharper.
Who else is on the deed, Mrs. Barbara? Has your daughter's name ever been added?
No, it's only my name. My husband left it to me outright. I've owned this house for 30 years.
Harris tapped a few keys on his laptop, pulling up the county recorder's latest filing. The new deed appeared on screen.
This was notarized by Ashley Watkins just last week. She's your granddaughter. She's a notary.
The implication landed like a stone in Barbara's chest. A notary who would inherit the property.
She used her stamp on me to steal my home, and Susan let her do it.
Kenneth, who had remained silent by the door, spoke up for the first time.
I've delivered her mail since '96. She never missed a payment. That house is hers.
Harris made a note, but even with suspicion crawling up his spine, he knew no arrest would come tonight. By morning, Susan and Ashley sat in separate interrogation rooms, their holiday glow long faded.
My mother agreed to this. She's been forgetting things, leaving the stove on, getting lost. The house is safer with me.
Then, why not tell her? Why lock her out on Christmas Eve with no warning?
Grandma gets confused. I was just following Mom's orders. The deed is legal. I notarized it myself.
They're painting me as senile, my own daughter, rewriting our entire history to steal my home.
Susan never flinched. She produced a letter, supposedly signed by Barbara, authorizing the deed transfer.
That signature is fake. I never signed anything. Let me see it. I'll prove it's a forgery.
Harris separated them again. The letter was added to evidence, but without a handwriting expert, the case stalled. Susan and Ashley walked out that afternoon, free but branded with suspicion. The war had only just begun. Harris didn't take Susan's composure at face value. He pulled her financial history and found an old fraud report from a credit union.
Susan Watkins tried to co-sign a loan using her mother's property as collateral 2 years ago. The bank flagged it as suspicious.
He sent the findings to the state notary board. Ashley's commission hung by a thread. The signed letter went to a forensic examiner. Magnified loops and slants soon told a clear story. Barbara finally retained counsel, an elder law attorney who'd seen this pattern more times than she wanted to count.
I am not going to let them take my home. Whatever it costs, I'll fight this.
Harris added the report to the file. The pile was growing. Body cam, notary violation, previous fraud, forged letter.
You have no right to drag up my private finances. This is harassment, not justice.
It's a pattern, Miss Watkins. And patterns don't lie. We're just getting started.
The noose was tightening. But in the house on Oakwood, Susan and Ashley still had the keys, and Barbara's Christmas remained stolen. The prosecutor's office received the body cam file on a Friday morning. By noon, the district attorney had watched it twice.
The notary board just revoked Ashley's commission, and the press is calling. Someone leaked the Christmas Eve story.
By evening, the headline ran, "Mailman's camera exposes family fraud on Christmas Eve." Barbara agreed to a single interview, her voice steady but fragile as she faced the camera.
I just want my home back. And I want people to know that someone did stand up for me. A mailman I'd known for decades.
Kenneth, interviewed on his last delivery route, simply tipped his cap and pointed to the camera on his chest.
I just did what any decent person would. The real hero is Mrs. Barbara for standing up to her own family.
Susan and Ashley refused all cameras. They hid behind drawn curtains, their phones buzzing with angry messages from strangers.
The whole world knows now. Maybe that is the only justice I can count on.
But the district attorney had not yet filed charges. For Barbara, the waiting was its own quiet torture. The district attorney finally acted. On the same morning, 2 letters arrived, one from the state notary board, the other from the prosecutor's office. Ashley's notary commission was revoked, and an arrest warrant had been issued for Susan, felony elder fraud.
It's official, Mrs. Barbara. Susan Watkins will be taken into custody today. The evidence is overwhelming.
Barbara sat in the sterile conference room, a victim impact statement placed before her. The pen felt like a weapon.
The DA wants your input. You decide how hard they should push. It's your choice, ma'am.
I could ask for maximum penalty. Susan could serve years. Ashley would lose her mother and her future.
Her hand trembled as she took the pen. The words on the form blurred into one another.
I don't know. She's still my daughter. If I sign this, I am sending her to prison. How can a mother do that?
She locked you out on Christmas. She forged your signature. You don't owe her mercy.
Barbara set the pen down. The form remained unsigned. The decision would have to wait another day. Christmas morning arrived without a single carol. Barbara sat in the rented room, the radiators clicking like bones,
They're all together at my house, laughing, eating my ham, while I am in this cold room, erased.
She took the bus to Oak Grove Cemetery, the only place where no locks had been changed.
I don't know what to do, Tom. She's still our daughter, but she stole our home.
She closed her eyes and heard his voice. The one that always said family was about who showed up. Her phone vibrated. Kenneth. He had called 3 times since yesterday, always checking in. He told her she wasn't alone, and he had the whole thing on camera. After hanging up, she sat still. Then she pulled out the victim statement form.
I am going to sign it. Not for revenge, for every other widow who has no mailman.
Outside, a mail truck passed. The driver waved. She waved back. The preliminary hearing opened on a gray January morning. Barbara walked to the stand, Susan and Ashley flanking the defense table. She placed her hand on the Bible, her voice barely trembling as she swore to tell the truth.
I came home with groceries for Christmas dinner. My key wouldn't turn. Ashley said I wasn't welcome, that her mother had the new deed. 20 relatives were inside. I could hear them. No one came to the door. I stood there in the snow and cried.
Susan's attorney rose. His questions coiled like snakes. Had Barbara ever been diagnosed with memory loss?
Never. I ran an ICU for 40 years. I manage my own finances. My mind is as sharp as anyone's in this room.
He tried to imply confusion, to twist her tears into weakness. But she never wavered.
You can't break me with lies. I've survived worse than you.
The judge called a brief recess. The room emptied, but Barbara stayed seated, the weight of the day pressing on her shoulders. No ruling yet, but the body cam hadn't played, and the deed still sat in some clerk's folder, waiting. When court resumed, Kenneth took the stand. His uniform was pressed, the body cam now an exhibit on the prosecutor's table.
I saw her standing there in the snow, tears freezing on her coat. I turned on the camera because I knew something wasn't right.
The prosecutor dimmed the lights and played the footage on the large screen. From the speakers, Ashley's recorded voice filled the room. Mom has the new deed. Ashley sank lower in her chair. The camera shook as Barbara pleaded. The whole courtroom saw her hand press against the locked door. Several jurors wiped their eyes. Susan's composed mask cracked. She scribbled a note to her attorney, but her hand trembled. When the tape ended, the prosecutor rested. The defense's chance to counter was next.
I've known this woman for decades. She never missed a Sunday at church. She's no criminal.
In the gallery, Barbara gave a small nod. Her eyes, still wounded, held a glimmer of something fierce. The judge announced a recess, promising a ruling by morning. The gavel fell, and the courtroom emptied, fate still swinging. Morning brought a packed gallery. The judge's robe rustled as she took the bench and called the session to order. The judge adjusted her glasses and read from a paper. The deed is ruled a forgery. The transfer is void. Felony elder fraud charges will proceed.
No, this is a mistake. My mother will recount everything. She's confused.
I didn't know it was fake. Mom said it was all legal. Please, I'll lose my license.
The judge nodded. Bailiffs moved forward. The courtroom held its breath as handcuffs clicked around Susan's wrists. Ashley's wrists followed. She sobbed as the cold metal closed, her notary career dead before it began. Barbara gripped the wooden pew in front of her. Her face held no triumph, only the raw shock of finality. They were led away in single file. Susan still protesting, Ashley hiding her face from the cameras. The bailiff's call echoed, "All rise." The gavel fell once more, and the judge retreated to chambers. Sentencing would come later. But for now, the deed was officially void. Barbara's name was back on the title. The sentencing hearing drew a smaller crowd. Susan's attorney pleaded for probation, citing her otherwise clean record. The judge was unmoved. Susan was sentenced to 4 years in state prison for felony elder fraud. Ashley's notary commission was revoked permanently. She received 2 years of supervised probation.
Your Honor, I raised Susan. I taught her right from wrong, and still she locked me out on Christmas Eve. I am here because I had no choice.
Susan never turned her head. Her jaw clenched, but no apology came.
You are no mother to me anymore.
I didn't mean for any of this. I just did what Mom said.
The family bond, already frayed, snapped completely. The courtroom fell silent as the bailiff approached. Barbara left the courtroom with Kenneth by her side. The winter sun felt cold on her face.
I won my house. I lost my daughter. I don't know if I'll ever get her back.
3 days after sentencing, Barbara stood on her own porch with a new key in her hand. The lock clicked open. She stepped inside to absolute stillness, the scent of pine and cold ashes.
Every room feels haunted by the relatives who never came. I need to fill this silence with new voices.
She found the phone and dialed the number she now knew by heart.
Kenneth? It's Barbara. I am home. And I'd like you and Martha to come for Christmas dinner this Saturday.
Then she called her brother William, her voice steady for the first time in weeks. She spent the afternoon shopping, fresh garlands, a new wreath, and ingredients for a proper feast. The old wreath came down. A new welcome mat replaced the one worn thin from years of family. She set the table with her best china, the same set her husband had loved.
This dinner won't be the one I lost, but it will be honest, and the people coming actually care.
Barbara opened the door to find Kenneth and his wife Martha on the porch, a homemade pie in her hands.
Kenneth? Martha? You came. Come in. Come in from the cold.
Kenneth and Martha stepped inside, and soon the house began to fill with the sound of laughter. Soon after, William's car pulled up, and Barbara rushed to embrace her brother.
You did it, Barb. The house is yours again, and we're here to celebrate that.
The house that had been silent for weeks now echoed with voices and clinking dishes. They gathered around the table, the candles flickering against the winter twilight.
For the first time in months, this room feels like home. Not the one I lost, but the one I rebuilt.
Laughter rang out as Kenneth told a story from his mail route, and for a moment, all the pain was distant. They took their seats, and Barbara looked around at the faces that chose to be here. Barbara stood, her wine glass trembling slightly. The table hushed.
To everyone who came, when my own family shut me out, you opened your hearts. But especially Kenneth. You didn't just deliver mail that night. You delivered justice and hope. I owe you more than words.
Kenneth's eyes brimmed. He set down his fork, unable to speak for a moment.
You don't owe me a thing. Seeing you back here, safe and strong, that's all the thanks I need.
Here is to family, the kind that shows up. To Barbara and to Kenneth, the mailman hero.
They raised their glasses, a chorus of clinks filling the warm room. Laughter followed as William teased Kenneth about his perfect attendance record.
30 years without a sick day, and I'd do it all again, just for nights like this.
The feast continued, but the toast had forged a bond that would not be broken. After the others left, Kenneth and Martha lingered by the fire. The house was quiet again, but not empty.
I have something for you. A small thank you that doesn't begin to cover what you did.
She opened the shadow box frame. Inside, a velvet cushion waited to hold the one piece of evidence that had changed everything.
My body cam? You want me to put it in here?
He placed the small device onto the cushion, and it fit perfectly. The lens that had captured a betrayal now rested in a place of honor.
This camera will remind me that small acts matter, that a mailman can deliver more than letters.
Bundled in coats, they exchanged a long hug at the door. Martha kissed Barbara's cheek, and they walked out into the snow. Barbara stood on the porch with the new welcome mat beneath her feet, watching the mail truck pull away.
I lost a daughter tonight, but I found a family, and my home is finally my own again.
The body cam sat on the mantel next to her husband's photo, two men who had saved her in very different ways. The next morning, Barbara sat by the cold fireplace, her husband's photo in her lap.
It's done, Tom. The house is ours again. I wish you could have seen the mailman who saved me.
She bundled up and walked to Oak Grove Cemetery, the path now familiar under the clear winter sky.
I didn't just get the house back. I found a new family. Kenneth and Martha, William. They showed up when ours didn't.
She pressed her hand to the cold stone, feeling the weight lift from her shoulders at last. Walking back through the neighborhood, she noticed the wreaths still on the doors, but hers felt different. At home, she hung her coat and went to the kitchen without hesitation. She pulled out flour, sugar, butter, the ingredients for her late husband's favorite shortbread.
I didn't think I'd bake again, but this isn't just for him. It's for me.
The oven glowed, filling the house with a warmth it hadn't known in weeks. On a bright April morning, the post office lobby filled with balloons and banners for Kenneth's retirement after 30 years. The postmaster spoke of his perfect attendance, then paused. But there's one story that defines this man. He recounted the Christmas Eve lockout, the body cam, and the fraud case that followed. Kenneth stood stiffly as they handed him a plaque, service above self, engraved in gold.
I just did my job. The real hero is sitting right there, Barbara Watkins.
My cheeks flushed. I never expected recognition. He gave me back more than my house.
After the ceremony, she found him by the sorting machines, and they embraced without words. The local newspaper ran the story again. The mailman who delivered justice, with their photos side by side. Driving home, Kenneth waved from his truck. No longer a mailman, but a lifelong friend.
He'll always be the man who stopped on a snowy porch and changed everything.
1 year later, the house on Oakwood blazed with light. Voices spilled through the open door onto the snowy porch. Barbara, in a green velvet dress, opened the door to Kenneth and Martha, their arms full of gifts.
You are early. Come in. Martha's pie is already famous. Kenneth, the kids are waiting to see the hero.
To think, last year, we were scattered. This year, we're a family, the kind we chose.
They gathered at the table, the same china now holding a feast. The empty chairs were filled with new faces.
Last year, I cried on this porch. Tonight, I can't stop smiling.
Laughter and clinking glasses filled the room. The body cam still sat on the mantel, a silent testament.
I am just glad I stopped that night. Look at this room. This is what Christmas is meant to be.
As the evening wound down, Barbara stood by the door, watching the snow fall. Her wreath, fresh and bright, hung above her. The house stood warm against the winter dark, a home reclaimed by love and the kindness of a stranger who became family. The last guest had gone. Barbara stood by the living room window, watching the first stars appear. The sunset spilled orange and pink across the snowy street. Her breath fogged the glass. On the mantel, the shadow box held the body cam, a silent guardian. She touched the frame, a familiar rumble outside. The mail truck rounded the corner, though no deliveries came at this hour. Kenneth waved from the driver's seat. He still drove the route, just because he could. She lifted her hand, a small wave, and watched the truck disappear into the twilight. Barbara turned back to the room, the wreath, the welcome mat, the man's photo on the mantel.
I've lost much, but I've gained more than I ever imagined.
The house settled into quiet, not lonely, but content. Her home, fully hers again. She smiled, pulled the curtain closed, and let the warmth of the fire wrap around her.